So today we're going to talk about aging and the aging process and yoga for aging and why you would want to do yoga as we grow older. It's a subject I've been thinking about a lot lately since I'm getting older, and I don't want to lose the flexibility that I have, the movement I have, the freedom of being able to just, move my arms and not wake up to so much pain and everything. So Deepak Chopra had a book on timeless aging, and he was talks about the factors that contribute to aging: um, depression, inability to express emotions, being all tied up in that kind of thing, feeling helpless to change ourselves or others, living alone, loneliness, absence of close friends, which we have in recovery process. We have a lot of friends, even if we don't have a relationship ourselves. We have a new family and a lot of people we can talk to. Lack of regular routine, lack of regular work routine. Work is important. If you're retired, then finding things to do, keep yourself occupied is important, and doing it on a regular basis, not just occasionally. Job satisfaction, working more than 40 hours a week can cause aging process to continue. Habitual excessive worry, regrets from the past that keep coming up. And so with that, we have the ninth step, and that's the best we can do with the past, and we have to let it go. We learn to let things go in recovery. Getting angry easily or inability to express anger. And so with that, holding it in or blasting out all the time is both hard on your heart. And then so we're going to go over some of the reasons why you want to do yoga as you're aging, and as one of them is for your heart. And then stress. Stress ages us quicker than anything. Stress over whatever, and yoga helps us with that stress, this stress response, allowing the cortisol to slow down. So factors that slow down the aging is being in a happy relationship, and even if you are alone, having people around you, job satisfaction, personal happiness, ease of being, living through life in an easeful way, ability to laugh. And I think laughter is a wonderful, we have laughter yoga as well, and I think that is a wonderful way of slowing the aging process down. Ability to make friends. Again, in the rooms of recovery, we meet a lot of people, we have a lot of friends. Regular daily routine, and that could also be going to meetings on a regular basis. Going to your home group can slow the aging process down. Working regular routine, kind of the opposite. Taking at least 1 week of vacation a year. You know, more is better, and just taking time off and taking time for yourself, I think, is important. Going out into nature, I think, is also important. Taking control of your life when you feel like you have a sense of control with your life, living just for today into the present moment, you feel less stressful. An ability to express feelings, and we may have another video on feelings. I think that's an important topic. Being able to express feelings, and not only be able to express them, but you know what they are, what you're actually feeling, I think is a challenge for a lot of us. Optimism in the future, feeling financial security, move in life with ease, and regular exercise, which where we come in on the yoga side with a regular exercise. And if you're not doing yoga, and also you can do other types of exercise. Crossfitting is a wonderful way. A lot of athletes do crossfitting, doing maybe going to the gym and then having some yoga involved as well. Going swimming is a wonderful exercise, or walking, or riding a bike. But adding yoga in there will be helpful. But why yoga? And am I too old for yoga? Some people may say. I have a student in Saturday morning who is 92 and comes every week to yoga, and she does just fine and moves with without any help, and drives, and has a zest for life still. And that's at 92, and I've told her she's an inspiration for me. Some of the reasons why you want to do yoga as you go older helps with chronic pain relief. As you get older, sometimes you have those nagging, aching pains that don't go away. So by doing yoga, you can help with that pain relief. And by doing that, you get better sleep. When you're moving your body, you feel a sense of ease in your body, then you can sleep easier. And decreasing your blood pressure again into your heart. By doing yoga, your blood pressure goes down, especially like inversions and those kind of things. Anytime your heart is below, going downward, or your legs are above your head, like legs up the wall, then you're going to allow freedom of your heart to happen. And so with less high blood pressure, you're bringing your blood pressure down. And a lot of people, that's what happens when you get older. You have heart disease, and so that's helping with that. Not only the stagnant postures, but the moving postures as well is helpful for our heart. And so that brings us to the less stress, having less stress in your life. We encourage everyone to live into the present moment, especially during our yoga practice. And when you're in a posture, just being in that posture, so by doing that, then you're not ruminating on the past and not being fearful of the future. You're in the present moment, which is another thing, is allowing us to find a sense of mindfulness as we explore our body and our postures. And that's what we're supposed to bring the intention inward. That allows us to stay in a present moment. It also helps our mind, because a lot of times when we get older, our mind starts slipping a little bit. I know mine does, and I do yoga all the time. So, but it is helpful doing meditation and mindfulness training, things like that, with the stress, and also working with our mind. Diabetes management is, in the yoga practice, we are also working into our internal organs, giving them a little bit of massage as they get pressed in together. And, and then if you go into Ayurveda and you find the right foods to eat, it's going to be helping your diabetes. And that's another thing that happens when you get older. A lot of times the diabetes starts taking hold, and your spleen has a lot harder time working. Another thing that happens when you get older, your stability and your balance starts slipping. And so by doing yoga, and that's one of the benefits that the 92-year-old told me. And then most of the class that I have in that day, or the average is 70, 75. And that is the greatest gift of yoga, is having balance, or keeping your balance, keeping your muscles strong that are around your hips, and and your pec muscles, and all those kind of things to keep your balance. And then also, learning what to do when you're in balance. If you're doing balance poses, you start feeling a sense of imbalance, and then your body naturally starts working with that imbalance. So if it happens outside of a yoga mat, then you're better equipped to catch yourself and possibly help yourself not get hurt. Of course, flexibility and range of motion is good. I worked with a fellow once who, his main goal was just to reach back and be able to, reach back for a shampoo while he was showering. And, he didn't have that kind of range of motion when he started doing yoga, but by the time he got done, he did. I had other people who had no range of motion, couldn't touch their knees when they started yoga. That within a few months, being able to get to the calves or even to the floor, in some instances. So our range of motion and greater flexibility, is there. Of course, all yoga, there's two different goals. There's flexibility, but there's also stability. You need to have all your joints stable. And so all the muscles that are holding your joints together have to be strong. But then also you need to have the movement. That's why, weightlifting is a wonderful way of putting load on your muscles and your bones and those kind of things. But you lose the flexibility with that because you have too much cartilage going through to build the bones. And then improving your respiratory system is also another benefit of doing yoga. If you're doing yoga properly, you are breathing through the whole class. Of course, we're breathing all the time anyway, but in yoga, we are, we have like breathing patterns. We use different pranayama to work with our lungs and with our movement. And in that way, we're building our lung capacity. Stretching our rib cage so we can breathe better. And then another thing is strengthening the bones. We need to have load on our bones and our muscles so they start strengthening. So the intercellular level is happening in our body becomes tropic, which means the tissues start to get thick when they're not in use. So if we're sitting around and maybe you think, I feel too sore to go to yoga, and what's happening is atrophy starts sinking in. The tissues become thicker, like instead of sliminess of your tissues, they become in between the tissues more like honey, and so they don't glide as good. And so even though if you're not feeling, if you feel like you have the chronic pain, then it's making it worse by sitting around because of the tropic aspects of our body. And so in our body, we have our skin, then we have superficial fascia, then we have deeper fascia. And all these things have to glide together. And the fascia itself is made of three different things. It's there's cells in there, there's fibers in there that keeps everything strong, and then there's ground substance. The ground substance is mainly water, but it also has some glycans, or gags is what I call it because I can't say that word, and then hyaluronic acid, or HA. And so the gags are thirsty and they're always calling for moisture. And of course, as we get older, we start losing a lot of our moisture. Our bones start becoming dry and they become brittle, and that's why people become shorter. So we need to keep our tissues hydrated. They say motion is lotion. And so the more we move, even if we're not doing yoga, just moving our tissues all the time is allowing the tissues to call for, we're moving, so we need gliding aspect. So water is very important with us. It provides resistance, compression, And so it kind of gives us a pillow around our bones and things like that. And so the compression keeps us more solid. Allows for communication and transportation between the tissues. And so the water is a really good electrical conductor. And so in that water, it is found, it's been proven that the fascia is not only there, but it is talking to our mind and giving it communication of what's going on in our body through the fascia in itself. It's kind of like, the fascia begins at the top of our head and ends at the bottom of our feet. It's one continuous suit. And so it is can talk even faster to our mind and to other tissues that's not even in the central nervous system. And so, it kind of bypasses that because of the water aspect. And it's water also gives us a shock absorber. That's why, like, when babies fall or get hurt, get a boo-boo, they heal like the next day. They're like, you can't even see what had happened. Where, like, you get older, then you get these bruises out, you don't even know what happened, and they last forever. And so that's because we don't have as much hydration in our tissues. And so we need to call for tissues. Of course, we don't have as many fibroblasts as we get older, and that's one of the issues. But if we keep moving, we can keep what we have. So water is also key for keeping inflammation down and tissue repair. With the fibroblast and telolites and all the different cells that are in our fascia system, and that these things happen as we move. And so these are just some of the reasons to do yoga as you get older. But how you do yoga is also important. When I was younger, I used to do all kinds of different. I used to put my legs behind my head, and I haven't been able to do that for quite a while. But there's also other postures I used to do, with no problem. But now they are a problem if I can even get into them, and that's okay. I've done it before, so I don't have to. Doing yoga isn't a show, and sometimes we get that feeling like we're putting on an exhibition, but it's not that. We're doing yoga for ourselves. So if I can't do a posture, especially at our studio at True Freedom Recovery Yoga, you can sit and watch. You're encouraged to listen to your body, and anything that doesn't feel right, then you're supposed to just not do. Certainly, but it's my ego that will tell me, I need to look like these young people. And by doing that, I'll either, I might be able to pull it off during the class, but the next day really feel it. And so, and yoga is supposed to be about letting go of the ego. And so, getting older, you can do it gracefully and still, in fact, people over 50 that's when you really need to have the yoga. And and another thing is, like, a lot of people say, well, I'm not flexible, so I can't go to yoga. You don't go to a gym because you're strong. You go to a gym to become strong. So come to yoga no matter what your age, no matter how you're feeling, and work a little by little. It's not like taking a pill. It's not like the next day I feel much better. It takes time, but it's time well worth it, and you will your body will start feeling better within no time. But again, listening to your body and listening to your doctor if there's some things that you shouldn't do at all. Maybe you have a rotator cuff that's really bad, and you shouldn't do a whole lot of chaturangas or anything like that. So listening to your doctor, or maybe you need a hip or a knee or something like that, so he can help you tell you what you should and should avoid. But even if you do have those kind of things going on, again, if you sit and don't do anything, then it's going to make the things worse. When NFL players go into the locker room, even if they break their leg, they get on a machine that micro moves their muscles. And so, it helps send more moisture in to help with the healing process. And so if it works for the NFL, it can work for us as well. And also, again, say I have a rotator cuff thing going on, and my supraspinatus muscle is irritated. Well, I also have 3 other muscles that are there that need to be worked on. Maybe, I can work around the top muscle, but working more with the other muscles, or the other muscles that are supporting the shoulder. It's not just the rotator cuff muscles that are there, the trapezius, pec muscles, all those things are also helping support our shoulder. And then there's so many different muscles in our hip and things like that. In our knee, working our quadriceps are going to strengthen our knees. So even if we have a knee injury, as long as it's not too much, working our quadriceps may help improve that situation. Or maybe you just need to, not do that side if that's the problem. I hope this is helpful. Again, you hear a lot of people, get like my class is over 70, and they, you wouldn't think of it. Sometimes I have some of my younger teachers come and teach there, and they're always just amazed how much they can do. But they've been doing it for a really long time, and so their body has that flexibility, has that movement, has that range of motion, but yet has that stability. And so come if you can. True Freedom Recovery Yoga. Again, nobody judges. You can sit and watch most of the time. A lot of people do. And, keep moving and come and grow gracefully with us. Thanks for your time.